Semi-final number 2. Who's going to face Park Sang-won in the men's sabre final? Immediate call from HORVÁTH for a video review. Referee called parry riposte here. Get a good look at it now. Difficult to see when the blades are both low. If anything, it looked like Hwang went to search for the blade, and that's what the referee had called. Not as clear on that replay, but it was a really good call from HORVÁTH, because I didn't hear any meeting of the blade in the live action. There's no sound on the replay, and it was a good call from HORVÁTH. He gets the appeal going his way and scores the first point. The Korean hop, but it's not the Korean doing the Korean hop. It was HORVÁTH on the Korean hop. Didn't work out this time. All the way through, didn't break time, Hwang, and HORVÁTH has started to pull away. I'll talk about the Korean hop if you're new to watching fencing. When the Summer Olympic Games of Beijing 2008 were announced, the Koreans decided we want to have a play with fencing, and they dismantled the sport and put it back in their own image. And that's where this hop that we're seeing again from HORVÁTH came in nearly 2 decades ago, and it's so effective that the rest of the world have adopted it. There it is, the hop on the right-hand side, born in Seoul on the Olympic Park, in the training factory that is Korean fencing, a dominant team now in the world of fencing. And another video call, this time from HORVÁTH again. That was Hwang who called for the video there. He doesn't get it and loses his appeal. Hit stands for HORVÁTH. Preparation from the Korean. HORVÁTH is winning this one off the line. Hwang needs to change this up. He does, gets the distance trap priority with the left, and he lands his attack over the top. This is a game of cat and mouse. You need to be able to play both the cat and the mouse, but you have to keep changing your tactics and keep making decisions before the referee says LA. HORVÁTH is really nice off the line. I think that's the 3rd time he's had this slow and steady approach, but he's going in the right direction all the time, and he stops Hwang. Acknowledges that one. Goes straight into a blocked line, the Hungarian. Hwang gets the riposte. Does the attack go through? The referee says no, it doesn't. And I look up to the skies from Hwang, suggests he agrees. It was his attack on the left, but that misses. It's the second action that lands. So HORVÁTH has his turn. It's so fast, you've got time to explain one hit before the next hit is struck. Difficult to call that one. Referee senses simultaneous, but HORVÁTH has other ideas, and he is calling for his second review. He kept the first one. Similar actions from the pair, and there's that video appeal. And he gets another one in his favor, HORVÁTH. Good call on the videos for HORVÁTH. He's had 2 go his way. Now we have a call from Hwang. He feels that he got the right of way and got the attack through. Referee had called it as parry riposte for HORVÁTH. Provisionally, we are going into a minute break, but the video being reviewed here. Well, HORVÁTH was the one that suggested he got the parry, but I'm not convinced. if he did, I think he brought his arm back after he got the parry, so he loses the right of way. We're about to find out what the referee thinks, having looked at the video. Gives it as parry riposte, and that is the break. And Horváth has, to be fair, dominated the tactical battle here. Yes, he's only got a 3-point lead, but he seems to be controlling what's known as the tactical logical circle. There's certain options for the fencers to do off the line. They've got to make that call before the referee says LA, because they simply don't have enough time to be reactive. And here is the last point again. So, oh, you can see it brilliantly. He just, that last late-minute parry, something that we've seen from that superstar. And there was the Korean hop, almost taking the mickey a little bit there, Horváth. So high was the Korean hop. But we saw that demonstration of the late parry riposte from Horváth to take us to 8 points in the break. And that emulates the great Aaron Zilagi, the last of the late parriers. Hwang's got his work cut out for him here. He wasn't effective off the line. He started to open the fight up and not have everything in the middle of the piece. And he then managed to get into the match, but Horváth got back into it, changed his tactics, adapted, scored 3 of the last 4 hits to take us to 8-5. Minute done. Coach's job is done. Race to 15 is back on here on the piste. Hand comes back from Horváth this time. Predicted well there, Hwang. Tries it again. He really wants to lure the attack and try and find the parry, but the danger is he's opening up such a big amount of distance. Horváth can take his time closing it down. Watch here. He takes his time on the attack. He slows it up a little bit, and then he finishes. Attack goes through this time. Told you it was heavy metal. This one is another electric bout in men's sabre. Right away with Horváth on the right, and lads, he nearly got caught on the wrist there, and that's why Hwang goes down in despair. Hwang thought he'd hit, watch here, right there, he thought he'd got it, but he'd missed. Fancy if he had got that hit, it would have blocked Horváth out because there was another step, but Horváth has just rolled back ankle by the looks of things. Or just when he placed it down, the knee was in the wrong position, so he's just getting a little tweak. Seems to be okay. Oh, lovely change of line right at the last minute, going from head to flank. Well, these are now risky hits from Hwang. He's having to step in and make a guess that he can predict what his opponent's doing. Horváth with the attack. The Korean hop comes back into play, but this time Hwang changed his tactics. He did not run away this time. He kept the distance close and was able to land a parry riposte. Just 2 points in it again. Yeah. Hand comes back here from Horváth. I think this is a waste. I think this is a waste of a video call from the Hungarian. His hand came back. Hwang has closed up. It's difficult to see the hand coming back from that point, but it definitely didn't go forwards. Here we go. See the hand coming back there after the first step. The referee was always going to stick with that call. And that's the first video appeal lost by Horváth on the 3rd time of asking. And now he's called for the doctor for that back ankle he one suspects. He did land on it awkwardly, got to be fair. This doesn't feel like an athlete who's using the magic spray to break the rhythm, and I think Hwang knows it as well. He's coming over to offer his commiseration and hope that he's all right, because you don't want to win a fight through default. To be fair to him, even after the injury, he didn't call for that immediate call of the doctor, and in case it's not blooming obvious, ankles, knees, hips, elbows, wrists, all pretty important parts for a fencer. And they've been at this since the morning, coming through the pool stages where they fence in groups of 6 and 7 up to 5 points to get the ranking for the direct elimination stage. It was a round of 64, 32, 16 and 8 before the athletes got to these semi-finals. End of a long season as well for these fencers. These two just aged out of the junior ranks, under 20, so they've been on the senior circuit since October last year. Now have a look at this. This is on the fencer on the right we're looking at, the back ankle. Big actions from him. But it's right there where he puts his ankle down with his knee, not quite over it, that he's caused a little bit of a twist. I suspect he's going to be all right. The magic spray, funnily enough, does work wonders sometimes. Could just be a little bit of respite. And if he was to make it through to the gold medal match, he's got 10-15 minutes for the physio to get in there and start work on him. These injuries, these twists, these little turns in the wrong way can exacerbate as time goes on, the swelling goes up. They'll want to get some ice on that straight after this fight if HORVÁTH does make it through. Meanwhile, down the other end, you've got to think about the other athlete, because of course they've got to try and keep their focus and their attention on the fight itself. And when you're so close, Hwang just one down, he needs to come back out and ready to go and almost just dismiss the fact that his opponent is injured. Of course, it's nothing to do with him and not his fault. Let the hostilities resume here in Essen. So the 4-point lead disappeared for HORVÁTH, just now 1. And he's had to come back off an injury timeout. Seems to be moving freely, but brought his arm back there, and sharp off the line, Hwang levels. Eyes open attack there from Hwang. He took his first step, a very long one, with his eyes open to look what his opponent was doing, and then saw that there was an opportunity just to finish the attack. They're playing this little dancey-dancey game in the middle, which is, I think that one of them is going to just come out off the block and just absolutely leather an attack on their opponent. So Hwang got 4 in a row, now it's 2 for HORVÁTH. And he's back with a 2-point lead. Either of them seems to be able to wrestle the momentum, but saying that, HORVÁTH now gets his 3rd in a row, and he's 1 away from the gold medal match here. Couple of little tippy-tappy steps at the start of that for HORVÁTH, not going in the right direction and not showing enough intent on the attack. Hwang gets back within 2. This isn't done. This is not done. Hwang can still do this. Ooh, I understand why HORVÁTH has called for a video here. I think Hwang pulled out of his first attack. Question is, did HORVÁTH pick up the right of way? Hard to tell. Here we go, this is going to give us a better idea. So they both pull out. Yeah, so they both step in. It starts with the attack from the left. He pulls his arm back, but HORVÁTH does the same thing. So the right of way switches back to the Korean. And now we have a big one on us. It was always possible for Hwang to come back from 3 down, even at 14-11. He's done it. Now, can he keep the momentum and the tactical, logical circle in his favor? this for a place in the final. And I think Hwang's done that. Horváth runs away as though he's done it. I think Hwang did that. He had less histrionics at the end of it. There was less of an appeal for the hit at 14-14. Whatever happens, the referee has to look at the video. Now, does Horváth pick up the blade? He's seen the replay in the venue here. There is a big movement of Horváth's blade across his body. He got one of those early on, the late parries. Let's have a look again. Oh, does the attack go through? This is a really difficult call. I can understand now why Horváth did run away screaming like he thought he'd got the hit, because to me, it just looked like attack from the left. They are having a proper look at this. You see the 40% at the top of the screen. The referees can have a look at the replay in 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% and 90%. Often they go back to watching it at full speed though. Well, I'm not entirely sure what the referee said there in terms of describing the action, but he has ultimately given that final hit to Horváth from Hungary. The athletes both, well, obviously, Hungarian's going to accept it, but Hwang initially looked at the referee and say, hold on a minute, why were there so many calls in there? I think he called it attack, riposte, no. A continuation of the riposte, no, and then ultimately Horváth landing the final action with the right of way. It kind of makes sense, but I'm not sure I would have seen all of those little actions. Confirmation then that Gergo Horváth from Hungary is through to the men's individual sabre gold medal match, where he'll face the defending champion from Korea, Park Sang-young. Well, a real change of pace between the two weapons on show in this session of fencing. And ultimately, we have 4 contenders, 2 in the women's épée going for gold, 2 in the men's sabre going for gold. And those gold medal matches will be coming up very soon here in the SA Messen. We look back on the semi-finals of the men's sabre competition. It was so tight between Park and Schenkel in the first men's semi-final. 8-7 Park led at the break, but he bossed the second period. And Park showed why he is the world number 6 at senior level. Schenkel put on a great show in front of his home supporters, but Park was ultimately a class act in the second period. Could Hwang, his teammate, join him? Well, it was a tight one. Neither athlete able really to take the momentum fully. Despite both going on little mini runs of 3 and 4 hits, it all came down to a matchup and a contest for 1. Horváth bossed the early stages and got ahead in the second period, but just had a suspicion that Hwang had something left in the tank. And at 14-11 down, he did not give up. Leveled to 14-14. And then that was the leveling hit, and he was right up for it. He was ready to go. But then the final action, a little bit messy. But Gergo Horváth from Hungary made it through. Horváth versus Park for the men's sabre gold medal match. Now he's got a little bit of time to rest the ankle, which he seemed to just injure a little bit in that semi-final. He's got time for the physio to work on it. They'll have some ice on that immediately, I would have thought.